Welcome to your quick MacBook overview. We're going to start with the dock. The dock is a toolbar with your commonly used apps and also anything that you've minimized. It will be on your dock and any programs that you have minimized. So like right here, here's my Outlook. It's not part of my dock, but it's down there because it's open. So I'm going to two-finger click and say quit. And then it's now removed from my dock. I can add things to my dock that I use a lot. So let's say I use this infinite pre-algebra one a lot. There, it's down there now. Now if I'm like, oh, whoops, that's down there by mistake, or I want to get rid of it, I just click and drag it out till it says remove and release. So you can move these apps around. I can switch it from page to page, or I can also merge apps together to form a folder. So if I wanted all of these algebra apps to be in a folder, let's just say I put them all in there, then I open the folder and I can double click it. And then so I double clicked it to select it and then just retyped algebra apps. Or I could put uncommonly used apps, and I could throw a couple of those things in there that I rarely use. All right, so there's that. Also, so moving on to your desktop, these are all the files that are saved to my desktop. If I wanted to clean up my desktop, which I should want to, I'm going to two-finger click and go to Use Stacks. What I should also do is in my free time, I should go through my desktop and clean some of that stuff up. You can change how things are grouped into stacks, so they can be stacked by kind, by when they were made, by when they were created or changed, and you can view them a little differently as well. But that's also, two-finger click is also where you can make a new folder. Right here we have our view finder. This is kind of your My Computer of the Mac. So it shows you all your different drives here. Also, just like in anything on your Mac, so if I'm in Word, up here it's at, I get my Word toolbar with File, Edit, View. Otherwise, I just see, so like right now I'm in Viewfinder, so it's going to give me these options here. This is where you could open something or, change your view, etc. So in your Viewfinder, these files here, applications, desktop, documents, downloads, those are all things that any files saved there, like all of these files on my desktop, are part of my Mac. So if something is to happen to my MacBook, something is going to happen to those files as well. If I don't have my MacBook with me, I do not have access to those files. Once things are saved to your OneDrive, you do have access to those files. So that stores things in the cloud. Some other options here is, you can add a new folder here. You can change the view. You can group your items, just kind of like those stacks. You can perform some actions here. So new folder, open in a new tab, get some info on the file, like where it was created, stuff like that, when it was created. Kind of a similar thing with path. So you see the location of the folder, like where is that file exactly. You can two-finger click up here in a extra space in a blank spot and go to Customize Toolbar. So I might add like delete or quick look so I could quickly preview something. Any of that will work. You just click and drag it up there. Sometimes I like that because if I want this, then I can just click on it and click that delete button instead of clicking on it and dragging it down to my trash can down here. So we're going to move on to Spotlight. You can access Spotlight by clicking here or by Command Space. What Spotlight is a built-in search engine on your Mac to help you find and open files. You can use it to look up information on the internet or get a definition. So I can use it to look up a program, and if I just type it and don't press enter or anything, it's going to give me all of these options here. I could also, if I wanted to know how much in other measuring cups is 2 tablespoons, it's a half a cup. I could type in a word for a definition. Any of that will work there in my Spotlight. So I could also look up a file. So here's my applesauce recipes and anything that has to do with that, so it'll help me find some files there. One other thing is if you have Outlook set up on your Mac, which you should, you can look up contact information. Now, for the most part, I believe you guys are going to use Google Chrome, as the 6th graders kind of set it as their default in the 6th grade Academy Day. But just wanted to show you a couple of bells and whistles with Safari. So one thing about Safari is, so if someone sends you an article or you read it or you find an article and you really want to read it, but you see all this stuff on the side, all these ads, these pop-ups, it's so hard to just concentrate on that. I can go here to Reader View and it finds just the article for me. If while reading that, I want to look up a certain word, say I want to look up functionalities, then I would 2-finger click the word functionality and say look up functionalities, and it will give me a dictionary definition. Sometimes it gives you a thesaurus, like that. So it's a real quick way to kind of help you with doing your homework. Also, if a teacher sends you a link and let's say you want to read it later, or you are going to be somewhere like in the car or something and you're not going to have internet service, you can go here on this little plus sign and it adds it to your reading list. So then I can click to add my pane, and over here in my glasses would be my reading list of the article that I just clicked on. This one over here with the book, this is for bookmarks. So if this site becomes a favorite, you could bookmark it. I'm going to have Safari pulled up. And one quick way in Safari is to press and hold on your green tab. And then when you release it, it'll go there. And then if I had Word open, like let's say this is just a blank Word document here that I'm taking notes over that article. My teacher has asked me to take notes. What I could do is press and hold on that. I think I have to be in Safari, so let me minimize that. So now if I go to my article and press and hold on the green, it's going to pop it over there to the side, and then I can read this article and take notes on the other side. Tasking real quick or switching between apps. One quick way to do that is the Command, if you press and hold on Command and strike Tab, it pops up your Switch Apps bar, and whenever I press Tab, you'll notice it goes to a new app that I have open. So if I wanted to open my Pages, I could press Enter, and there is the resume that I was working on in Pages. Another way to multitask or see all the apps that you have open is to press Function 3. That will put them into boxes like that. Or another way is if I'm working, I can put my thumb and my next three fingers on my trackpad kind of pinched. And if I spread them out, oh, not that much, you can see the different ones. There we go. That's pretty interesting. And look, if I pinch them together, it takes me to my launch pad. But if I click and then I spread my fingers out, kind of does that same thing where you see all your different little apps that you have open. So there's a couple different ways to multitask there. Speaking of Pages, so Pages is the Mac version of Word/Publisher. So it's a desktop publishing program, but you can do a couple more advanced features, and it has all these really cool templates in it as well. So you can embed videos and embed links, files. You can pull stuff from other programs as well and put in these. Or simply if a teacher says, hey, we want to review writing letters, you can choose these letter templates. Here's some resume templates, flyers, newsletters, you name it, they've got it. And it's the same logic as Word. So it's not exactly like Word, but you could figure it out. The next one is Numbers, and that's basically Excel. And then this one is Keynote. This one is key to your success. As for some reason on these MacBooks, one thing we've discovered is if you are making it more of an advanced presentation using PowerPoint, it tends to freeze up on you. So Keynote is a great alternative to that. If you are creating a presentation, you can narrate it, you can embed videos and all of that, and it doesn't seem to freeze up on you. One thing I would recommend, guys, is sometimes when you're working in these programs that are internal to the MacBook, that you tend to save to your MacBook. Now, if something happens to your MacBook, then you've also lost that file, or you have to turn in your MacBook, or you don't have your MacBook that day, then you don't have access to those files. So make sure, even if you're working in these programs, save it to OneDrive. That's your MacBook overview.